Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Global Infrastructure Cooperation Conference 2022. My name is Ju-Yeon Cho, and it is indeed an honor to be your MC for this event. Thank you very much for your attendance. Thank you very much. Hosted by the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transport of the Republic of Korea and organized by the International Contractors Association of Korea, the GICC celebrates its 10th anniversary this year. And since its inception in 2013, the GICC has served as a great venue for foreign governments to introduce major infrastructure projects in their countries, develop great partnerships with Korean ENG companies, and to build a strong network with other key players leading in the global infrastructure development, including global MDBs. I would like to express our sincere gratitude to all of our distinguished guests for being here with us tonight and today for this auspicious occasion. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, let us commence our opening ceremony. And with that, I would like to invite Mr. Park Sun-ho, the chairman of the International Contractors Association of Korea, for his opening remarks. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I would like to wholeheartedly welcome all of you to the Global Infrastructure Cooperation Conference 2022. It is a great pleasure to meet all of you in person for the first time in 2 years since the COVID-19 pandemic forced us to move this conference online. I would like to express my gratitude to Minister of Land, Infrastructure and Transport Won Hee-ryong and many other officials for their full support in making this meaningful event possible. My thanks also goes to Assemblyman Kim Jung-jae for taking the time to join us to celebrate this conference. Marking its 10th anniversary this year, the GICC has provided a platform for solidarity and experiences relating to development projects around the world, as well as expanding relationships and business development efforts. GICC has continued to successfully fulfill its role as a representative business platform for international contractors and clients with 293 contracts awarded through GICC totaling $32.4 billion. The global construction market is currently facing changes to its business environment driven by the increasingly rapid transition to the digital era and responses to global agendas on climate change. In keeping with these trends, Korean companies are increasing their investments and technological prowess in promising fields such as infrastructure projects facilitating digital transformation and the net zero transition. They're also pivoting their management philosophies towards ESG to solidify a cooperation framework for shared growth. This conference will provide a first step in exploring opportunities in order to turn high-quality project information into tangible infrastructure projects by consolidating all our efforts and capabilities. The diverse programs we have prepared will help you take advantage of these opportunities. To begin with, the 2022 Smart Construction Expo has been prepared as a site visit program to showcase Korean companies' innovative smart construction technologies. A GICC Minister and CEO Forum is a major part of the conference as well. It will facilitate the process of creating plans for cooperation in infrastructure projects. In addition, a Korea-Indonesia Cooperation Forum on Indonesia's new capital and Korea-US Infrastructure Cooperation Session are scheduled as new venues for business opportunities. In closing, I hope that we will be able to yield concrete results through active communication and cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Chairman Park, for your leadership and your support for the GICC 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, next up, I am honored to invite His Excellency Minister Won Hee-ryong of Land, Infrastructure and Transport of the Republic of Korea for his opening welcome remarks. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Hello, everyone. I am Won Hee-ryong, Korea's Minister of Land, Infrastructure and Transport. I would like to welcome the government delegations, contracting organizations, construction firms, and financial institutions in attendance to GICC 2022. I am especially grateful to National Assembly member Kim Jong-jae and Lee Soo-man, founder of SM Entertainment, for their opening remarks and presence today. I also thank Chairman Park Sun-ho of the International Contractors Association of Korea for organizing the first in-person GICC event in 3 years. Over the years, GICC has played a key role in building cooperation and understanding between domestic companies, international contractors, and MDBs in the field of global infrastructure and plants, and pioneering promising feasible new projects. After 2 years of remote conferences due to COVID-19, it is a pleasure to greet you in person, exchanging greetings and promising cooperation with our esteemed participants. This year is even more meaningful as we're co-hosting the event with the 2022 Smart Construction Expo exhibition, which introduces smart construction technology and new industrial trends. With gratitude to all our esteemed participants, I express my commitment to continuing our infrastructure development cooperation with visits to participants' nations. Honored guests, as you are well aware, the Korean War in 1950 devastated our country and completely destroyed our infrastructure. But even in the ruins of war, Korea refused to give in to despair. By building roads, rails, and homes, and establishing water supplies and power, Koreans built a foundation of economic development rooted in a wide range of infrastructures. As a result, Korea rose from the ashes in the miracle on the Han River, accomplishing economic growth on an unprecedented scale. Korea's countless industrial complexes and plants and its roads, rails, harbors, and airports will continue to play a key role in Korea's industrial development. We take pride in our construction infrastructure, which prove our construction firms' capabilities and prowess. We're grateful that governments and contracting organizations hold Korean construction capacity in high esteem. Since 1965, Korean companies have been part of large-scale international projects, such as the GMMR project in Libya in 1983, the Petronas Twin Towers in Malaysia in 1994, and the Burj Khalifa in the UAE in 2010, taking active roles in their construction. With half a century of experience, Korea's construction firms are a pillar of our economy and the driver of development and prosperity, and for countries where they contributed their expertise to projects that will go down in history. Korean construction firms remain top players in the competitive international market. Public and private sectors must now work together to start a second international construction boom. Honored guests, today, a new normal is upon us, filled with both opportunities and dangers. COVID-19 has spread around the globe. Europe faces the worst heat wave in 500 years, and wars continue to rage. Uncertainty reigns on the global stage. The fourth industrial revolution has raised inter-industrial barriers and ushered in a new era that requires cross-industrial collaboration and amalgamation. In these changing times, it is imperative that nations work together and bring their strength and expertise forward to generate new synergy for development. Even traditional fields, such as construction, are now called to incorporate new elements, such as IT, semiconductors, and cultural awareness. As you're well aware, Korea welcomed a new presidential administration this May, With the popular support of Korean citizens, the new administration is committed to overcoming economic crisis and boosting the Korean economy. Our international construction industry has a key role to play in economic revitalization. With a proven history of expertise and diligence, Korean construction firms have built up trust with nations around the world for the past 60 years. The Korean government seeks to go further, focusing not only on infrastructure like rails, airports, and cities, but a comprehensive array of K-smart infrastructure, including semiconductors, communications, and culture, as hardware and software encompassing cities and lifestyles. That is why Korea seeks public-private partnerships to form a united Team Korea that markets K-smart infrastructure across the globe. We ask for your continued engagement. In addition to the GICC, a range of events have been prepared, including the 2022 Smart Construction Expo and the World Smart City Expo Tour. Please take this long-awaited opportunity to experience the cutting-edge smart construction and smart city tech offered by Korea at this time, as you have taken your time to come here to experience what Korea can offer. We also ask that you take in the beauty of Korea's natural landscapes in this perfect season between summer and fall, as well as the Korean culture that has taken the world by storm, as we have Lee Soo-man, founder of SM Entertainment, here. Once again, I would like to thank and welcome all the participants attending this conference. And from the bottom of my heart, I would like to express my gratitude. I would also like to express my thanks to everyone who made this event possible. I hope that GICC 2022 will be a fruitful event that leads to greater development and a brighter tomorrow for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister Won, for your kind remarks as well as your support and leadership from the government. Ladies and gentlemen, next up, it is my pleasure to invite His Excellency Mr. Bambang Susantono, the Chairman of the Nusantara Capital City Authority of the Republic of Indonesia, to make a few congratulatory remarks. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. 안녕하세요. It is a pleasure for me to speak at this opening ceremony of the Global Infrastructure Cooperation Conference 2022. On behalf of all participants, I thank Minister of Land, Infrastructure and Transport, His Excellency Won Hee-ryong, for inviting us on these important occasions, and also the International Contractor Associations of Korea. On behalf of all participants, allow me to start by expressing our gratitude that this year's GICC can be organized in person here in Seoul, as the COVID-19 pandemic put almost everything on halt and forced the last two GICC meetings to be held online. The resumption of our gathering at GICC today marks the beginning of a new era of post-pandemic collaborations amidst all the new political and economic challenges that we are facing. However, the key reasons that bring us together today remains an old one. It is the imperative of providing good quality infrastructure, which is needed to bring prosperity across the globe. As we are all deeply aware, infrastructure development has been a cornerstone of successful growth and development strategy of the governments. Good infrastructure has strengthened income per capita, improved livelihoods, and lowered poverty through enhancing the growth. It has also ensured the delivery of basic goods and services, which in turn leads to the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals. However, one key challenge that governments are facing is how to finance quality infrastructure. In Indonesia, in my country, our overall infrastructure quality is still subpar, and this is an issue faced by many countries. Just take Asia and Pacific as an example that is close to home. Nearly $1 trillion every year is needed to bring its infrastructure up to scratch in this region. Out of this amount, the governments can only support about 60%. The big question is, how do we fill this enormous funding gap? This is where working closely with private sector for financing of infrastructure and related services becomes essential. With this backdrop, forums such as GICC play a critical role, as it provides a central venue where government can engage private sector to help them tackle this challenge. In GICC, the government can promote their major infrastructure projects and explore potential collaboration and partnership with the Korean ENG companies. It is also our opportunities to build network and exchange knowledge with key stakeholders in infrastructure development, including investor and development institutions. In closing, let me again wish to express my sincere thanks and appreciations to the International Contractor Association of Korea for organizing this event. And once again, congratulations, and I wish you all a very successful conference. Thank you. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, Chairman Susantono, for your warm words of support. Thank you very much. And next up, please allow me to invite Representative Kim Jung-jae, the member of the National Assembly of the Republic of Korea, for her congratulatory remarks. Please welcome her with a warm round of applause.
네, 반갑습니다.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Kim Jung-jae, Assemblywoman and a member of the Committee on Land, Infrastructure and Construction. Minister Won Il-yong of Land, Infrastructure and Transport of Korea, Chairman Park Sun-ho of the International Contractors Association of Korea, Chairman Lee Soo-man of SM Entertainment Group, Mr. Bambang Susantono, the head of the new Indonesian Capital City Authority, Mr. Kamjen Bonghosi, the Minister of Planning and Investment of Laos, Mr. Rafael Jose Sabonghe Bilar, the Minister of Public Works of Panama, and honorable ministers, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to congratulate you on the opening of the 10th Global Infrastructure Cooperation Conference, and I'd like to extend warm welcome to all of you who have traveled from abroad to join us today. Since 2013, the GICC has been playing an important role in discovering business opportunities by being a venue for networking and information sharing among Korean engineering and construction companies, foreign clients, and international financial institutions. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the GICC could not be held offline for the last 3 years. So it gives us a greater delight to gather together at this year's conference. Distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen, the infrastructure industry is playing a key role in driving the economic and social development of countries around the world, even at this moment, by creating jobs, driving economic growth, and improving citizens' welfare. In addition, the infrastructure sector, which promotes trade and investment and facilitates logistics operations, is the essential foundation for expanding economic cooperation between countries. Indeed, Korea laid the foundation for its rapid economic growth by building critical infrastructure such as highways, oil refineries, and steel mills. Many countries are striving to overcome the economic recession caused by the COVID-19 pandemic by investing in infrastructure. It is because infrastructure is a powerful driver for job creation and economic growth. Ladies and gentlemen, various factors including climate change, resource depletion, and demographic changes are expected to impact the infrastructure industry. Furthermore, innovative advances in digital technologies are rapidly changing the way people live in all parts of the world. I believe how proactively a country responds to such changes will determine the competitiveness of its infrastructure industry. The Korean government and businesses are making great efforts to develop new technologies, including smart construction, utilizing AI, big data, and IoT, and to provide policy support such as regulatory reforms. In this regard, I believe it is even more meaningful that the GICC 2022 is being held along with the Smart Construction Expo. Due to the recent rise in oil prices and endemic, the demand for infrastructure projects is increasing in many countries. Indeed, thanks to the increase in infrastructure investments in the post-COVID era, the global construction market's value is expected to grow from $11 trillion in 2021 to $13.8 trillion by 2025. Governments around the world plan infrastructure projects that each country needs and sometimes use government spending to finance the projects. But public-private partnership projects that tap into businesses' creative ideas and the private sector's capital are also frequently implemented. The National Assembly of the Republic of Korea will provide policy and legislative support to help Korean companies participate in overseas PPP projects so that they can unleash their full potential and contribute to development of these countries. I sincerely hope that GICC 2022 will be a mutually helpful win-win opportunity for all of you, where representatives from various countries and Korean companies can share experiences, know-how, and knowledge about infrastructure projects. I wish the success of this year's conference and look forward to the GICC's continued development as an international event promoting infrastructure cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Representative Kim Jong-jae, for the great remarks as well as the words of support and recommendations. And up next, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to invite Mr. Lee Soo-man, the founder and chief producer of SM Entertainment, to deliver his congratulatory speech. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome him with a big round of applause.
안녕하십니까.
Good morning. As have been introduced, I am the chief producer of SM Entertainment. My name is Lee Soo-man. Congratulations on the hosting of GICC Global Infrastructure Cooperation Conference. Ever since 2013, GICC has played a role as the platform for global construction cooperation. Thank you very much for this invitation. Some people may feel that I am out of place, but I think it's high time that I am invited to this platform. Minister Won Hee-ryong and members of the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and everyone from around the world, it's a great pleasure to meet you. I am very interested in the future of the entertainment world, the metaverse, and also the future living environment ecosystem, and creating this together with humanity. And I also look forward to the conversion of the soft power of K-culture with construction. The Republic of Korea is a land of the Korean wave. Ever since HOT started to make room into the Asian market in 1990, Hallyu has become a part of the global culture, and now we call this K-culture. We are well beloved for our K-pop, K-drama, K-movie, K-fashion, K-food, and K-smart infrastructure, which was mentioned by Minister Won today. And so we continue to create contents loved by the global citizens. Again, in the background of this Korean wave, I believe, is humanity that goes beyond region, national boundary, and generation. We believe that creativity based on humanity is the power behind the Korean wave. Then we believe that fans around the world and prosumers are now dynamically recreating K-culture. We have always focused on culture first and economy next. Culture first and economy following next. That has always been our motto during the last 30 years. We wish to create the future of the entertainment world, and we have always worked on exchanges of culture and sharing our culture with countries around the world, and we have always focused on such cooperation. We also believe that producing culture should become a textualized manual to create it as a technology. We hope that it becomes a science. In the past, Korea was very good at making pottery, but we do not have written manuals and literature on how to make pottery, and so much of it has been lost. That is why we focus on culture technology. We have developed our culture technology as our way of producing culture. Artists in Korea and the producing system of Korea is currently in the limelight, and everyone around the world wishes to learn Korea's culture technology. I have had opportunities to meet the leaders of the governments of Saudi Arabia, Dubai, and Mongolia, and we have been able to share ideas about the future vision as well as the new world of metaverse. I also had opportunities to participate in projects for future cities. From 2019, we have participated as an advisor in the Korea project that is well known around the world as a mega entertainment city constructed by Saudi Arabia. We also signed an MOU on August 19th with the Saudi Arabian government, and I am participating as a producer for the Saudi Pop Producing Project for the future cultural industry of Saudi Arabia. I have been invited to Mongolia by the Ministry of Culture recently. I have had the opportunity to meet the minister as well as the prime minister to talk about the future of Mongolia. The system to create future in our culture should be converged with various cultures from around the world so that we can create a mecca for culture and entertainment that cannot be experienced anywhere around the world. That is why I believe that we need to create an entertainment dome city that brings together the metaverse and the physical metaverse so that we can create cultural creation industries and the future of cities together. I look forward to exchanging ideas and also participating in various projects. Culture technology can go beyond language and national boundary, and it is a manualized system to create culture that can be loved by people around the world. Through culture technology, I wish to create a future entertainment world that is based on humanity dreamt of by the human race to create creativity that is the utmost nature that we have as humans. I hope that CT will not only create culture, but also an ecosystem for culture. We need to create the future city that continues to create culture. What would a future city look like? I'm sure we are all curious. What will the future look like? It will be a city where the barriers between industries are brought down to converge. Human-centered city, environment-friendly cities are being established around the world, and there is a bigger need for art cities and culture cities. And future mobility, thanks to the development of technology and convergence with technology, transportation, and culture, is becoming a reality. In the past, we have connected a transportation system of land, air, and water, but now we are adding autonomous vehicles and manned drones, which will give birth to new lifestyles. Manned drones that enable autonomous driving will look like a theater, a cafe, a karaoke, or a shopping mall. Performance halls will become the center of city cultures, and at business centers, we will have vertiports that will allow the vertical liftoff and landing of drones. And we will have international vertiports for all cultural spots to create new cultural spots. When we design and construct cities, vertiports will become an essential part of the construction. That is something that we believe to be true for the future. In the past, we have always tried to maximize the cultural imagination for our cities. In this world of Web 3.0, we live in a world of metaverse. Metaverse is now home to virtual cities. Fans of Hallyu and prosumers are joining in those virtual cities, and I think we can imagine that these virtual cities will become the venue for new events. In these virtual metaverse, we are able to exchange culture between nations and cities to create a new space, event, product, and contents that go beyond our imagination. And within this virtual metaverse, we will be able to see simulations, and this will be re-mirrored into the real world, connecting the real world with the virtual. And that, I believe, can be defined as the physical metaverse, as this is recreated into the physical world. So the virtual metaverse and the physical metaverse will coexist, and they will mirror each other through simulations, which will then lead to new construction, new architecture, and imagination coming to life. That will be the form of evolved cities that we will create in the future. If you take a look at the Little Prince, where does he live? He lives on a small planet called B612. This B612 can be created in our reality so that we can actually visit the stars that we have just imagined in our dreams. We live in a world of AI brains. This is already a part of our reality. We have always been curious about all of these things, but time travel will then be possible. And so this wormhole can become a part of the physical world. That is the type of imagination that we can make come true. Cities are the concentration of creativity. Future cities must become the best creation of humankind. Future construction will become the tool for creativity being converged with culture. In the future, creativity and imagination will give birth to new cities which will leave new heritages for humankind. International construction by Korea, as have been mentioned before, has created landmarks around the world. Turkey's Çanakkale Bridge, the world's tallest building, Dubai's Burj Khalifa, and the Libya canals of the 1960s, which was the world's largest canals that have been built, have all been contributed by Korea. We have also created a pipeline worth 4,000 kilometers to bring the water to the Sahara Desert all the way from the Mediterranean. We have also participated in building the transportation infrastructure in Tanzania. We have also worked on projects to stop the desertification in Mongolia by planting trees in Ulaanbaatar. You can see that we are working on sustainability, which is a must for the global village. And by doing so, we have been able to decrease the emission of carbon, and we have also started to contribute to reviving our Earth. Korea has the power to revive the life out of our land because we have this experience and we have the creativity that we have always proven. Korea will become a partner to solve global issues such as environmental issues, and we will continue to make efforts to stop desertification and also find countermeasures for the global crisis. I believe that Team Korea will show its capabilities. The private sector, the government, and the government-owned companies should work together to create meaningful projects. And if we are able to join that effort with the power of culture, we can create the greatest synergy effect. Within the sustainable development of Hallyu, if we are able to converge that with culture and construction, we will be able to open the era of K-construction to set the standards for the future of cities. By joining culture, technology, and K-construction, we can create sustainable cities of the future to create a new ecosystem for living culture. Everyone at SM Entertainment will contribute to evolving CT, future cities, as well as the creation of an ecosystem for living culture. I look forward to the construction of a new ecosystem for living culture for humanity that we dream of. In order for Korea to achieve sustainable development and also to create the culture and life that we deserve, we will work as partners. Humanity of SM will continue to work under the motto of be humble, be kind, be the love. This indeed will contribute to the future culture cities as an ecosystem for living culture. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lee, for that inspiring presentation. I look forward to a future city that is the convergence between infrastructure, smart technology, entertainment, and of course, culture. I hope that we'll be able to see this kind of CT or culture and technology converge as soon as possible. So thank you very much for that presentation once again. And now next up, we have a very special guest who has come all this way to congratulate the successful hosting of GICC 2022. I'm very eager to introduce him to you, so I would like to ask our Minister 1 to please take off his mask and join me up on stage to the podium to meet him together.
안녕하세요.
Good morning, everyone. I'm very pleased to see all of you. Who are you? Hello, everyone. My name is Chung Ya-kyung. I'm an inventor in engineering and construction in late Joseon Dynasty. I heard that we are having a wonderful event with so many esteemed participants, so I came to the present from 200 years ago. Oh, Mr. Chung Ya-kyung, I'm so honored to meet you in person. We're having this GICC with great important people from all over the world to showcase construction companies and our technologies of Korea. I'm very happy to see you here at this venue. I understand that you were the main architect of Suwon Hwasong Fortress, which was designated as a World Heritage Site, right? That's right. King Jeongjo commissioned me to construct a fortress in Suwon, which was going to serve as a defense fortress as well as a commercial town center, and we used bricks to construct this. What I was impressed with was that you were able to complete this project in just 2.5 years, even though this was a very large-scale project. And I understand that it would have taken more than 10 years, given the level of technology. That's correct. Of course, these days, you can build stone architecture in a short period of time with advanced technology, but at that time, during the Joseon Dynasty, people had to carry stones all manually. And at that time, I developed and invented 거중기, which is a special machine to carry stones by using the pulley technology. Wow, in addition to that, I know that you built a temporary bridge over the Han River. That's right. King Jeongjo, when he went to pay a visit to his father's tomb, hundreds of people had to cross the Han River. And building a regular bridge over the Han River would require a large amount of budget and labor of many people. So at that time, I used 80 ships and put planks all over these ships to create a temporary bridge. And thanks to this, King Jeongjo and his servants were able to cross over this Han River. Wow, I can see that it really takes your passion for people and creative ideas, and technology development based on a wide range of knowledge is critical in developing infrastructure. I'm very happy and honored to be able to introduce something very special to the guests of GICC 2022. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm flattered, Mr. Minister. I know that the construction industry is being developed under the leadership of wonderful leaders in Korea. I am curious about advanced technologies of the construction industry in the 21st century. So what are they? Yes, compared to the Joseon Dynasty, things have changed dramatically, especially in the construction sector. Now we apply state-of-the-art technologies for the construction. And recently in Korea, we have been pursuing convergence of the existing construction technologies along with digital technology. For instance, these days, people use drones, remote-controlled aircrafts to take measurements. Also, we sometimes apply the modular ENC approach, where you would build critical structures in the factory and put them together on site. And we are using virtual reality technology to monitor the situation. And today in Ilsan Kintex, there is a very special event underway that showcases cutting-edge technologies of the Korean construction industry. So would you like to take a look? Yes. Does that mean that I can actually experience them? That's correct. Now, I would like to call upon someone on site at the Smart Construction Expo, President Kim Byung-suk of the Korean Institute of Civil Engineering and Building Technology. Are you there? Yes. Hello, everyone. Hello, Minister, and hello, Mr. Chung Ya-kyung. I'm very happy to meet you. President Kim Byung-suk, can you introduce to us the smart construction technology and what's happening at the expo? And Mr. Chung Ya-kyung, it was my honor and privilege to be able to meet with you and talk with you. And I hope that you will continue to support the development of Korea's construction industry going forward. And I really look forward to seeing you again at next year's GICC. It was very great to be able to see you. And I look forward to your invitation to GICC next year, and to MOLIT and to the Republic of Korea. I wish all of you success and prosperity. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am here at Kintex, Minister 1 and Mr. Chung Ya-kyung, whom I really admire. I am very happy to be able to meet these two people using the IT technology. I would also like to greet the participants of GICC 2022. I am president of the Korea Institute of Civil Engineering and Building Technology, and our organization is the lead organizer of the Smart Construction Expo. I'm here at the site of the expo. I would like to give you a brief introduction to cutting-edge construction technologies and the expo. The Smart Construction Expo is an event where we talk about the present and future of smart construction technologies as key technologies of the future to improve productivity and safety of the construction industry. Smart construction technologies are also expected to contribute to addressing the global challenge of climate change. The expo consists of various exhibition halls and spaces where you can share and experience advanced smart construction technologies. Here, at the Kintex, there are 400 exhibition booths participated by 143 companies and organizations in Korea. In particular, to help visitors better understand smart construction technologies, we have created the 3 thematic spaces for design, construction, and maintenance, which comprise the life cycle of the construction, and 2 thematic spaces that deal with environment and safety, which are the 2 key issues of the construction industry. So in total, we have 5 thematic spaces for exhibitions, which allow us to give an effective storytelling about smart construction. First of all, at the Smart Design Hall, you can check out design automation technology based on BIM and metaverse and other virtual reality simulation technology, drone measurement technology to enhance ENC efficiency. Secondly, at the Smart ENC section, you can witness ENC automation technology, modular construction approaches, and remote site control technology. Third, at the Smart Maintenance section, you can learn about advanced monitoring and maintenance technology using drones and robotics. In particular, this section will present visitors with ways to improve maintenance efficiency by collecting and analyzing big data on the facilities under maintenance. Next, at the eco-friendly construction section, you can see ultra-fine dust removal technology and PV system integrated with buildings as some of the examples of eco-friendly construction materials and energy technologies to facilitate a transition to a more eco-friendly construction. Finally, the construction safety section presents various IoT-based disaster monitoring and smart safety devices to prevent accidents and safety incidents in order to promote safety in the construction sector. Furthermore, the expo also showcases 44 excellent technologies chosen through Smart Construction Technology Competition and the IDEA competition. And we have prepared 6 expert forums on road, railway, housing, R&D, and safety policy so that our citizens can deepen their understanding on the construction sector. I ask all the distinguished participants of the GICC 2022 to come and visit the expo as well. You will be able to enjoy a whole new world of smart construction technologies as we have prepared this event for all of you. With excitement, I look forward to seeing you here at the expo. Thank you.
네, 안녕하십니까? 스마트 건설
Good morning. I am Kim Da-hee. I will be introducing the expo to you. We have with us a company that received 2 grand prizes at a relevant competition. Good to meet you. So you have received the grand prize for the Smart Challenge competition, and congratulations. So could you introduce the technologies that you used to present. At our company, we always focus on the quality of construction, and so we provide consulting for BIM. Throughout the construction cycle, we have BIM data that we write, and we have technologies related to BIM. Against the backdrop of this technology, we participated in 2 parts of the challenge, and we have received the grand prize for technology innovation. First, we have a challenge that was hosted by the Korean Railway, and we also participated in this event using BIM. We used a 3D modeling using AI and drones, and in the design stage, we used automatic design systems, and you can see that we utilized various BIM technologies based on web technologies. In the construction phase itself, we used the BIM data to utilize AI and BIM technologies to conduct the actual construction. We also participated in the Korea Construction Research Institute Challenge, and what we did was to have Korean-produced BIM, and this was the first of its kind in Korea, and it's a real-time, two-way communication system that enables the BIM to be utilized in new ways. So in the past, we had analog methods, but it was digitized by using BIM to enhance the productivity and quality of construction. As you can see, we participate BIM in both design and construction. That's quite amazing. So enhancing the productivity and quality for construction and design. Congratulations once again. Thank you very much. Then we will also meet another exhibitor at the expo.
Hello, I am Kim Yeon-ju. I am here at a booth of the exhibitors, and I'd like to have a short conversation with the CEO. Hello. Hello, nice to meet you. So, Smart Technology Support Center, what is this center about? I am Yoon Dae-woon from Movements, and the Smart Construction Support Center is a place that provides support to startups who would like to get engaged in smart construction. We moved in 2019, and we have been providing support. And as a result, initially, we only had 6 employees, but now we have more than 40 employees, and we were able to grow our business. So thanks to the support of the Smart Construction Support Center, you were able to grow your business. Then what is your business about? As for our company, we use AI and augmented reality technology for waterworks and other infrastructure to create a digital twin. As you can see in the background, we were able to work in Busan, a special district for smart city, and we were able to create a digital twin that resembles the physical reality. In the past, there was not enough maintenance for underground waterworks and other pipelines, but now using digital twin technology, we can prevent accidents and we can improve maintenance. I look forward to your contribution. Thank you.
네, 2022
We spoke from the Smart Construction Expo. There are so many exhibitors and companies that we wanted to introduce to you, but due to the time constraint, we will wrap it up here. Thank you.
For explaining the smart construction technology, and unfortunately we only had time for the live broadcasting. And thank you very much to our Minister 1 as well as Chung Ya-kyung for explaining that. And I didn't imagine that I would be able to come to this event and meet the ever-famous Mr. Chung Ya-kyung. It was very interesting for me as well. And personally, I also look forward to seeing him at next year's GICC event next year.
Smart construction is driving the construction industry to a new height with cutting-edge technologies that meet emerging needs. It is transforming our vague vision for the future into a reality of today. Leading economies are scrambling for innovation to sharpen their competitive edge and adapt to changes in the global construction market. At the core of this move is smart construction. By converging technologies of the fourth industrial revolution, such as BIM, drones, robotics, IoT, big data, and AI, the construction industry is transforming itself from an experience-dependent sector to a knowledge-based, cutting-edge industry. Smart construction technologies are expected to significantly address long-standing issues like safety and workforce shortages, and shift the market's focus to highly challenging and sophisticated projects involving urban infrastructure and renovation of old facilities. Smart construction overhauls all stages of the construction process with automation, customization, and information sharing. It leverages 3D tools for optimum design and allows for integrated control from the designing phase. Builders can produce components in factories without being affected by the weather or complaints. And smart automated equipment enables unskilled workers to perform tasks that require high skills. In addition, a real-time collection and scientific analysis of facility information leads to more systematic maintenance. Even greater advancement is possible if smart construction is incorporated with digital twin, a technology that allows for lifelike simulation in the virtual space. Korea, an ICT powerhouse, has emerged as a leader in smart construction. It has developed a roadmap under which a solid foundation will be in place by 2025, and the entire construction process will be automated based on big data by 2030. Currently, key smart construction technologies are being leveraged in urban projects. The government has strived to streamline policies and propagate the value of innovation to encourage the private sector to develop new technologies. Through adequate spending and public construction projects, government agencies and public institutions lead the effort to promote smart construction technologies. Smart construction represents innovation for a better future for humanity. In a concerted global effort to further advance the sector, Korea is fully committed to playing a leading role going forward.
Thank you very much. So for those of you who were not able to visit in person, that video clip was just a glimpse into Korea's smart and advanced construction technology. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to listen to our keynote speech for today. Assistant Professor Kim Jung-in of the City University of Hong Kong will deliver our keynote speech on the theme of virtual design and construction implementation strategies for a high-performing infrastructure facilities. Please welcome him with a warm round of applause.
네, 반갑습니다.
Pleased to meet you. As have been introduced, I am Kim Jung-in of the City University of Hong Kong. Before I begin, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for this invitation at this auspicious gathering. Allow me to start my presentation. Today, I would like to present under the title of Virtual Design and Construction, or VDC, Implementation Strategies for High-Performing Infrastructure Facilities. Let's take a look at the last 30 years of changes in productivity in the construction industry compared to the manufacturing industry. For the manufacturing industry, during the last 30 years, they have seen a 30% increase in productivity. But for construction, there is a 20% decrease in the last 30 years. One of the reasons behind this difference is because of the lack of digitization. So we have seen a decrease in the productivity of the construction industry because of the lack of digitalization. If we take a look at Korea, our ICT Development Index is #1 in the world. And so therefore, by developing smart construction technologies, we will be able to boost our level of digitalization and in turn boosting our level of productivity. That is the potential Korea has. If you take a look at this slide, you will be able to see VDC and how VDC can help decision-making processes. Well, first of all, here you can see a blue curve, and that actually shows the performance of each decision-making process impact on the actual outcome. So here you can see that earlier on in the project, the bigger the impact on the project itself through decision making. If you take a look at the red curve, you can see the cost to design changes. So the additional cost when there are design changes, you can see that towards the end of the construction process, the higher the cost to design changes. The third curve is the current decision-making process. If we are able to add VDC to the current decision-making process, you can see that we are able to consider more options towards the initial part of the project, which will enable us to enhance our curve towards the fourth curve, which is a higher level of productivity, which will translate into better performance of the construction projects. So, if we need to implement VDC, what are some of the considerations that we need to make for the implementation of VDC? First is the VDC framework. Second are the 3 stages of BEAM application. And third is the evaluation of BEAM maturity. So first, let's take a look at the Virtual Design and Construction Framework, or VDC framework. So we start with the building information modeling. So all stakeholders related to design can actually have more detailed designs, and by having this information, we are able to plan the production, and that can lead to the planning of the construction itself. And based on these plans, we are able to utilize integrated concurrent engineering, which is a better form of communication, which helps the confirmation of the constructability of the detailed design. And after this process, then we will go to creating highly reliable construction, and ultimately we will be able to provide facilities with the desired service quality on budget. Next, let's take a look at the 3 stages of BEAM application. The 3 stages have different costs and also different benefits, and that is why we have to consider the 3 different stages when we establish the VDC strategy. I believe it will help each company to customize the VDC framework to their budget and their capabilities. Let's go through the 3 stages of visualization, information integration, and automation. First, for visualization, we are able to create a 4D simulation to communicate construction sequence, and it enables the stakeholders to share information and communicate. This type of visualization is not limited to just buildings, but it can also be applied to infrastructure as well. Here you can see the underground rock cavern project in Vietnam that is in the planning stage. Then the next stage for beam application is the information integration stage. Here you can see that from the very beginning, various information is integrated so that all of the stakeholders are able to analyze and access information as needed. The simulation process that you are viewing on screen is an information integration simulator developed by a university. And here you can see the simulation that is being applied to a project in Qatar. This helps us see the changes related to sustainability. And so from the master plan stage, we are able to facilitate dialogue between the stakeholders, which will enable us ultimately to come up with the best possible design. We are able to have simulation and various factors on the same screen, which will enable us to communicate with multiple stakeholders speaking different languages. We also have a slide on information integration again. As I have mentioned before, BEAM is not used just for design and construction. It can also be used for operation as well. By having building information modeling, we can share our information with passengers so that we can improve the passenger flow, which will help us manage the density of passengers. And by using building information modeling, ultimately, we will be able to provide more convenience to the passengers, and we would also be able to optimize the heating and air conditioning, which will help us have sustainable energy management. Next is the third stage of automation. This actually is the final stage for BEAM application. And so compared to the first two stages, if this stage is done well, we will see a large increase in performance. Because when we actually conduct a construction project, we are limited by time and budget as well as manpower. And so we cannot come up with a lot of scenarios. We can come up with about 10 to 50 scenarios. But we can see that there are tens of millions of possibilities. And so creating optimal solutions is quite difficult because of the large amount of options that are available. But through automation, we are able to automatically come up with the optimal scenarios, and that actually enables us to analyze only the optimal scenarios, which will translate into high performance and sustainable results. And by applying automation, this is one example that we can have. Here you can see a roof truss design for a soccer stadium in the Middle East. If we would use existing methods, we would be able to evaluate 39 alternatives, but by utilizing automation through providing connected tools to the engineers, we were able to evaluate 12,800 alternatives, which helped us reduce the cost for materials by 20%, which left us with a $4 million savings. And the next stage is to evaluate the beam maturity. So when we do a VDC implementation, there's a need to evaluate the beam maturity. So when we have the VDC strategy, we need to check the status quo. That actually helps us analyze the ups and downs that we have to set the direction for the future. This actually is a scientific approach to VDC implementation. In the example on the slide, here you can see that we are using a scientific approach of 4 different scorecards. These scorecards enable us to analyze the different factors that helps us compare our company with other companies, our location with locations around the world, so that we can actually have VDC implementation strategies on a new level. So up until now, I talked about the VDC framework. And in establishing the VDC framework, there are 3 things that we needed to consider. And based on these strategies, we are able to improve better VDC and BEAM, which can, as I mentioned in the very beginning, shift the decision-making curve towards the more ideal curve, which will ultimately translate into higher productivity for Korean construction projects, which also means that we can enhance the productivity of the local projects. This brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you once again, Professor Kim, for the great and informative presentation. I hope that the technology of VDC will be able to enhance productivity and efficiency in our construction in the future. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening and being present with us today at the opening ceremony. This concludes the opening ceremony of GICC 2022. And once again, I would like to express our deepest gratitude to all of our participants for attending the opening ceremony of GICC 2022. There will be other programs of GICC available all throughout the day as well as tomorrow, so please do not miss out on them either. So this has been Ju-Yeon Cho, and it was an honor to be your MC for the opening ceremony. Thank you very much.